Hello everyone out there in Zombie Land. It is another Rob Sacchetto Prevenge of the Nerd Robcast. Hi everyone, it's me, Rob Sacchetto. I am sitting in my movie room with all my movies, and guess what I'm going to be doing today? Another movie review. And I also, again, this is going to be a movie review. I have chosen the dubious task of reviewing two movies that have the same title. So today it is going to be Fright Night. And yeah, another favorite of mine. I love Fright Night. So Fright Night was a movie that came out, when was this one? Again, another 80s, if I'm not mistaken, film. Can't find the thing. Yeah, but 80s, I think. I'm not going to bore you all with the technical aspects of when the film was done and all that stuff. But I'm thinking 80s, mid 80s, 86, something like that. And then redone for modern audiences. So the original Fright Night is, again, fantastic. I love it. That's why I own it. I own a lot of movies that I like. I own some movies that I don't like. Sometimes by design. So you might notice, like, if you look close, there might be like showgirls in there or something. And I own that for a reason, to laugh at it, basically. So anyway, Fright Night, fantastic vampire film. Basically, a vampire moves in next door to a family where the boy realizes that the neighbor is in fact a vampire, and he goes to a TV vampire hunter to help him get rid of this vampire. And hilarity and horror ensues. So this movie, again, fantastic film. Great setup. Roddy McDowall is fantastic. Chris Sarandon, playing the vampire in question. Just incredibly great. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was the casting of Amanda Bierce as the love interest to Charlie, the main character. And I don't know if it's because of the bias I have of her being on Married with Children as the nagging neighbor, but I think that was like so far after I saw Fright Night. It didn't really make that connection to me. Maybe until after, and I just disliked the casting of it more. But I found her as the love interest just didn't work for me. It's a very small nitpick. Like I barely remember that as being like a thing, so to speak. But I always go back to that and I go, that casting was just didn't seem right. I don't know why. I don't know why they cast her. She just didn't seem to fit in the role. I thought she seemed older than the main character, and it just, I don't know. I just didn't work for me. I don't know even the reasons why now. I think it was just many of those reasons I just mentioned, but more to the fact that she just didn't gel, just didn't seem to fit that role. But like, there are so many cool effects and just, again, set pieces, and the acting is fantastic. Chris Sarandon does such a great job as the vampire. Roddy McDowall plays a fantastic vampire hunter guy, reluctant, and of course, nobody believes the main character at first, which, is always a problem for me in movies, but they handle this very well in this one. There are some also really cool, like, it's almost like, there's a character that plays a sort of a Renfield-ish, person or character in that helps the vampire during the day, and he's kind of like a zombie. He's kind of like a weird zombie type character. He's undead, but he's not a vampire. But you'll see what happens to him. Like, it's a really cool, I don't want to spoil it because it's a really cool part in the movie. And you see him sort of coming up the stairs, and he's like got this sort of deadpan look on him, and he's being shot, and you see what happens after. So it's very cool. I love that part. I love the Evil Ed character, the main character's friend, who basically turns, and he's turned into like a werewolf character. Because vampires in this, they don't explain it, but it's sort of like that really neat werewolf mythology in terms of like, he's got the Renfield type character. And now if you don't know that, they don't explain it to you, but it's something that you sort of suspect if you know the Dracula sort of story type of thing. You know that there's a helper, and then the fact that he's got dominion over like the evil or lower creatures and stuff like that, like wolves and bats and things like that, so to speak. So there's that connection to the Evil Ed character sort of turning into this werewolf thing at the end. He's like a wolf creature. So yeah, so that's really, really cool. I love that. The movie, again, is fantastic top to bottom. It's an absolute classic. They even made a sequel. The sequel I love too. I actually saw that again recently. I highly recommend it. It is another classic vintage sort of horror movie to watch, which is no surprise that they actually redid it. And again, I have to say, I love this version. This version is so cool. David Tennant's in it. Colin Farrell. He's awesome. I love Colin Farrell. I'm a big Colin Farrell fan. I think he's a very great actor. If you haven't seen In Bruges, I highly recommend that movie. That you guys watch that movie. It's not a horror movie. It's sort of like a gangster-ish movie, but without the gangster-ish stuff. And these two gangsters in hiding in this little town. Anyway, I highly recommend you watch that. Colin Farrell movie, he's fantastic in it. So we're getting back to this Fright Night version is fantastic. It's an updated thing, right? So they updated the story to fit modern times. And I can't tell, like, I really love this movie for the fact that it doesn't take this ponderously long time for people to start guessing that the Charlie character, Anton Yelcin, who unfortunately passed away not too long ago, he's a young actor who's great in this. It doesn't take so long for them to believe that he's actually telling the truth. Sorry, I'm gonna put this down now. And I love that part of it. And and again, his mother's played by Toni Collette, man, she's so fantastic. I've always loved Toni Collette, but even more so now because, she was just in Hereditary. That if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend you see that as well. It is just a fantastic horror film. I hate to say it's one of those slow burn ones because it's really not. It's just a very creepy, quiet until it gets unquiet movie. But anyway, she just knocks it out of the park again, as always. And in this movie, she's great as the mom. The love interest is actually not some completely vapid cardboard cutout type person. She has personality. I like her much better than Amanda Bierce. Again, I'm sorry for ragging on her, but I just I really like the love interest in this version a lot better. And David Tennant playing oh man, he's one of those street magician guys who basically ascended to work in doing a daily grind in Las Vegas as a magician. He's like one of those David Blaine, Chris Angel type dudes, and he's fantastic in that role. It's so incredible to watch him play this douchey asshole magician guy, and again reluctantly helps the hero fight the vampires, and it's great. The setup is just kind of the same as the first one, the original I should say, and it's fantastic. The effects are great. And Chris Sarandon makes a cameo appearance in this movie as well. He looks great in it too. He plays a little role. So very great. And again, like, seemingly very, like the first one, very, what's the word? It's almost like realistic to life. It's there's not a lot of things where you go, oh man, as if that would happen and there'd be no repercussions or blah blah blah. Like, you know, there's sort of like real world, I guess, you know, repercussions to things to a degree. Obviously, it's a horror movie, so there's, you know, they gotta put a lid on it at some point. But it doesn't seem so far fetched that like you're kind of gassed and going like, okay, this is shit. So again, the original I love. The remake I love as well. They're both fantastic movies, and again, watch them back to back. You know, do it in an afternoon, or invite friends over, watch them at night, have a little, you know, get together and watch these two movies back to back. They're great movies. They complement each other, and again, if you don't like the reboot that much, if you don't like the reboot of movies in general, you still have the original to love and enjoy forever and ever. This isn't taking the place of this. Just a different vision or version, different eyes on it. You know, maybe updated special effects and whatnot. But that's it, guys. Like, it's not the end of the world. So you don't have to like shit on stuff. I find a lot of people do that. People go online and it's like, oh, they're fucking redoing that. Does Hollywood have any other fucking ideas? It's like, yeah, man, there's a lot of other movies out there. There's new movies all the time. There's like tons of fucking platforms that movies are made for and on and stream on and whatever. The odd remake or reboot or re-envisioning of a classic film is not a new concept. It's been done forever, and you still have your classic movie to enjoy, man. Okay, so, you know, I think everybody needs to kind of chill a little bit, and, you know, you don't have to watch it. There's that option too. I know it sounds crazy, but there it is. So that'll be the end of this movie review. As I said, I liked both movies. I highly recommend you watch both. I think both are really good, valid horror movies. They're very, they have a lot of differences, but they have obviously a lot of similarities, one being based on the other. So I think you'll enjoy both. So that does it for me. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video. I hope you liked it. Visit me on Patreon. I'm going to also post this on my Patreon page. I'm going to be posting tons more content on there. Throw me at least $1 or $5 a month, guys. Like, you know, I post new art. Just that alone on my Patreon page every single day, and I don't even like put a paywall on there. I share it with everyone. You know, I'm not I want to share my art with everyone, and it's just, you know, it gets difficult to do it every day, and I do it every day of my life, and I put it on there every day of my life for everyone to enjoy. So I hope you dig it. If you could spare $1 a month, I would really appreciate it. That would be so awesome, guys. So I'm gonna leave that link to the Patreon page in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I will see you again soon with another review, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll wish you the best. Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye.